that like. Make sure you sub to the channel if you are not a member, and also hit those notifications as well so that you're able to get all of my content, all of my videos. Salute to the whole entire LDBC, basketball and boxing, and salute to all the people that's rocking with me, day ones as well as my new subs too coming aboard too as well. Um, I do have some breaking news to report before the video started, man. Let me give a shout out about this person. Let me give a shout out to Chase TV. He's the one that I saw talking about this. If you're not sub to Cut to the Chase TV, definitely go sub to his. And he's the one I saw talking about this first. So salute to him. Brown Sugar, I see you in the. Listen, uh, now we all know what had transpired um, just not even a day ago, Stockton, California, where these cowards that came in and opened fire at a little kid's birthday family gathering at a ice cream parlor where four people were unalive, and unfortunately, I think about I want to say about 15 people had got injured. May have the numbers wrong, but the biggest thing is that you know there was kids aging kids ages that were ranging from 4 all the way up to 21 that unfortunately lost their life. Well, now according to our reports, uh, the target that was initially that they were targeting, uh, trying to hit, was rapper Mbnel. Okay, and now Mbnel is in hiding right now. Due to the fact of them trying to, get him and him being a perceived target. Uh, this right here, man, is a sad case because all of this could have been avoided. Like I have already voiced my disgust about this situation, especially when it comes to the baby mama. Now, I mean, does she take a lot of responsibility for the situation? Yes, she does. But at the same time, she's not going to be. I'm not going to put it all on her, but she does bear a part of the responsibility because you got to understand who you dealing with. I mean, you do have a baby by this man or dealing with this man, so and especially whatever he is involved in or whatever, you know what I'm saying, that could potentially put your life at risk. So in this situation right here, MB Nell was dumb as fuck for going to a gathering like that and putting everybody's life at risk. Because the way that they think now is much different than what they thought way back when. Okay? Before, like, the most precious things would be off limits. Whether it was the elderly, whether it was the women, whether it was the kids, no, they were off limit. You know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, if we see somebody we don't like at a particular place or something at a gathering or something like that, hey, you know what I'm saying? We'll deal with whatever it is later. You know what I'm saying? Now the reason why everybody is thinking the way that they're thinking and anybody's a target and all this other stuff, everybody's an op, is because for one, all of the drugs that they loading up in their system, and it's made them so far gone that they don't have no type of feeling about what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, uh, in that life, you know what I'm saying, when you're trying to get your get back or whatever, a lot of those guys they don't see it that way. They're like, hey, you You did something to us, so we got to come back and we got to do something to you, and we got to make you feel that pain or whatever and inflict that pain. Me, I have a different mentality. I have a different take on it. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you talk about kids, innocent kids that don't have nothing to do with it or whatever. But those guys are gonna suffer. But Mbnel, even though okay, some guys are gonna be like, well, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. Yes, he did do that. He showed up to the party. You know what I'm saying? Which it could have been all been avoided, especially if you know that they were looking for you, especially if you know what you were involved in. You know what I'm saying? So me myself personally, I don't feel no sympathy for him. And if he's hiding or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I mean, nah, you're gonna have to face your fate as a man. You know what I'm saying? Because now you have, because of your actions and because of what you did and because of what you've been involved in. Well, guess what? There's four people laying that are no longer here above the surface anymore because of what you did. No sympathy at all. That's right, brown sugar. You know what I'm saying? And you got to think about it, man. Listen, I'm not. I know brown sugar can attest to this, and I know a lot of other people can attest to this. You're gonna have family gatherings where people ain't gonna say nothing. People are involved in different stuff or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they gonna keep quiet or whatever. And something, God forbid, it may hit the fan. Shit may hit the fan. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way things work sometimes. However, you do have those family members that say, hey, you might brown sugar, you might have, you know, family member. You be like, you wonder, damn, how come Uncle such and such ain't never at the family gatherings, or how come cousin such and such ain't never at the family gathering? Where has Uncle such and such been at and stuff like that? Well, it's probably because they're probably involved in something, you know what I'm saying, that they don't really want their family, they don't want to put their family in danger. You know what I'm saying? Whereas a lot of the people, they may not look at it like that. They might just be like, hey, I want to see Uncle such and such. Haven't seen him in a long time. Just want to know that he's okay. Just want to, give him dap him up, or give him a hug or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But they are trying to do their best. I respect those individuals because they're trying to love you from afar as opposed to put your life in danger. You know what I'm saying? It may seem messed up that they're not coming around. It may seem messed up that, oh, okay, well, I don't. It may seem like I don't want to be around the family or anything like that, but they're doing everything that they can to not put yourself at risk because of some bullshit that they're involved in. And that's what I felt like MB now he should have did. You should have not came around there, especially when you're involving kids, man. Kids, the next generation, babies. You know what I'm saying? Babies. If you under the age, like in my case, you know what I'm saying? If you under the age of, shoot, if you under the age of 20 some odd years old, to me, you looked at as a baby. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you under teen, you're definitely a baby. You know what I'm saying? Because your mind, really, honestly, it ain't even fully developed yet, and you don't have no some of them don't have any idea what they're about to face in terms of the world. So this situation, like Brown Sugar said, there's no sympathy at all, and you got to pay the price. Not only the people that was looking for you, but you also got to pay the price too. Both sides. Oh man, she gonna pay the price for it. The universe is definitely gonna punish her for that. You know what I'm saying? because you're not supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? You talking about innocent, precious young souls that have nothing to do with the BS that y'all have consciousness of. You know what I'm? Y'all have consciousness. Y'all have destroying lives and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Those kids don't. They don't know what's going on. All they think about is just having a good time. Where they gonna sleep at, what they gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? What time is daddy and mommy gonna pick them up for school? Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But instead, y'all worried about, okay, yeah, where's this op gonna be at, or where be at, so I could hit them up, or all this other stuff or whatever, plotting, creating more drama. You know what I'm saying? You gotta shoot. And another thing is, too, this is what I'm trying to this is what I'm trying to figure out too. Why wouldn't you? Why would you sit up there and you got knowledge that this dude is doing what he's doing or whatever, and you know damn well that this was involving kids and stuff like that, and you should have told him flat out, look, if you got any BS going, you know what I'm saying, keep that away. Why wouldn't you say something like that? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you just tell him just to stay home or something like that? You know? Why wouldn't you do that? That's my only question. So, it's just stuff like this, and I'm sorry I took a pause for a minute, man, because this situation right here, I'm gonna stay close on this situation because this situation right here, there was no reason why this shouldn't have taken place. Now, has stuff like this happened before? Yes, it has. And I don't like it happening, but this right here, I I know that people are gonna probably disagree. They're gonna have a different position, different opinion. That's fine, but I'm gonna say this: this really could have been avoided. This really could have been avoided on so many on so many levels. Uh, the baby mama, you know what I'm saying? Now she's gonna this is always gonna be on her mind. This is always gonna be on her conscience and stuff. And it should eat you alive. Cause now you're you're like whenever you have a party, okay, whenever you host a party, believe it or not, you're actually responsible for those people lives, that happen because the first thing they're gonna ask, well, whose party was it? Why did they invite? You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, with a whole bunch of stuff that be happening, I'm not talking about on the violent scale, but just let's say something happens to where somebody like spreads a rumor about somebody or something like that. Nowadays, people got people signing confidentiality agreements before you go into the party and stuff like that. I know that's not what some of y'all want to hear, but it's the truth though. But this in this situation right here, a lot of people got to start asking questions. You know, who's going to be at the party? What type of party am I engaging myself? What type of people are going to be there? Stuff like that. You got to start asking questions, especially when you're involving kids, especially when you're bringing your kids there, because you don't want nothing to happen, a situation like this to occur. So like I said, I don't feel any sympathy for this guy. I hope he eats him alive. I hope, because he's gonna have to pay the price for it. I know that he's in hiding. That, but hey, you shouldn't have got yourself into um, what you got yourself into. You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't have got into any of that. You know what I'm saying? Uh, a lot of people they sit up here and uh, they try to sugarcoat stuff and they try to make valid excuses and say, okay, well, straight, that's what happens when when you're doing this and when you're doing that. Yeah, I understand that, but see, that's why I brought up earlier, and I was saying in comparison to what you see now to back in the days, there was the respect, there was a code, that you just did not break. And I'm tired of getting on here and having to repeat myself about the code that you're not supposed to break, especially when it comes to women, when it comes to kids, when it comes to elderly, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just something that you're not supposed to break. And unfortunately, they broke that code. You know what I'm saying? I like, and here's another thing too. When all the politicians that got on the TV and the law enforcement and stuff like that, oh, we got to do better and stuff like that. Now you get, like, when you think of Stockton, you don't really think of, you know, violence, and you know what I'm saying. You don't think of any of that. Now there might have been stuff that might have done happened that they're not really broadcasting and stuff like that, because I have heard a lot of stuff that took place in Stockton, but they don't talk about it as much as the Chicago's, as the DCs, as the Dallases, as the Memphises, or LAs and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But it just goes to show you anything can happen anywhere at any given time, no matter the size, no matter the type of occasion that's going on. You know what I'm saying? You're not safe anywhere. So uh again, we just got to watch out. This world is different now. You know what I'm saying? It's different than what it was, you know, uh, 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And the world changes every day, and we got to protect ourselves. And you got to watch who you surround yourself with. You gotta watch who you keep in your circle. If you have a big ass circle, you gotta expect that you're going it's gonna be even more big ass problem. You know what I'm saying? If you keep your circle small and tight, 9 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, the problems are gonna be less. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that there ain't gonna be no problems, but there might be some problems that occur. But if you have a big ass circle, you can expect that there's always gonna be some drama and stuff like that. That's why you gotta watch who you surround yourself with, who you around, because you don't know who those people know. You know what I'm saying? Get to know it. You can't let everybody in your house. You can't let everybody in your garage. You can't let everybody in your backyard. You know what I'm saying? Your living room. You know what I'm saying? Your dining room, your kitchen. You can't let everybody in there. You got to get to know them. You know what I'm saying? What environment? What's their background? You know what I'm saying? Where they work at? You know what I'm saying? Who they affiliated with? You know what I'm saying? Are you in any type of organization or any type of group or anything like that that I need to know about so that I can protect myself? You understand? So that's all it is. But make sure y'all hit that like button, share the video too. Also hit them notifications as well. Okay, and sub to the channel too if you're not a member. Straight to the point. Shouts out to the whole entire LDBC Lions Den basketball boxing community. Until then, I'm gone.